Hi guys, it's Ryan here from smartsportstrainer.com, and in today's video I wanted to show you 5 ways to make money from a Bet365 account. Now before we start, I should just state that I'm not sponsored or affiliated with Bet365 in any way, and in this video I'll actually show you ways to exploit some areas that Bet365 are weak in, and it's probably something that they don't want people watching. Alright, so the first strategy we're going to look at is match betting. Now match betting involves exploiting the sign-up bonuses and recurring offers from Bet365. It's suited to beginners and those that want to limit their risk to basically nothing. The only way you'll lose money through match betting is if you make a mistake. You're using bonuses to give you a mathematical advantage over the bookmaker, and you can use this for straight up value betting, which is just using it to bet straight up, or you can hedge all your outcomes to guarantee yourself a profit, which is probably what most people do, and especially for beginners that's the way to go because you're locking in profit before the match even starts. So below you can see they've got a new customer offer, which is get up to £100 in bet credits. So that's £100 in free bets basically. In other countries they do have sign-up bonuses as well. I'm not sure exactly how much they are, but you can just use the same process. Every Saturday they also have a horse racing offer where if you back a horse at odds over 5.0, then you get a free bet for the next race, which is a really good offer. And also frequently they just give out loyalty credits, so they'll give you like £10-20 in free bets. And also from time to time they have a really good bet, £50 pre-match, get £50 in play on the big Champions League games and Premier League games. So you can still do pretty well from Bet365, just from a match betting perspective. And this is suited to people that are quite new to betting and just you want the easiest way to make money. I won't go too much into detail about match betting because I've covered it before, and if you want to learn about any of the strategies that go through in this video, I'll add a guide in the description for each one. So the next strategy we're going to look at is arbitrage betting. Arbitrage betting involves covering every outcome of an event to ensure that a profit is made. It's extremely low risk, but Bet365 will eventually limit your account if they know that you're doing this. However, you can still get good use out of a limited account. You can still win up to £200 on a limited Bet365 account, especially on big markets like the Premier League, Champions League, stuff like that. You can still win up to £200. So for arbitrage betting, you can still make a few quid off them, especially on the weekends. Still a lot of opportunity, and this is what I mainly use my own Bet365 account for. And just to show you a quick example now, I'll just walk you through what an arbitrage bet is. Alright, so I'll just show you a quick example of what arbitrage betting is. I'll take the top example, which is Atalanta. This is actually with Betfair Sportsbook, but the process is exactly the same. So you can back them at 2.8, and you can lay them at 2.68 with a betting exchange called Smarkets. So if you can back something and lay it at a lower amount, that's always going to be an arbitrage bet, and you'll always be able to guarantee a profit doing that. So you can see here, I'll put in a stake of £50. My commission at Smarkets is 0. So I back 50 at 2.8. I lay 52.24 at 2.68, and I guarantee myself a profit of £2.24. So that's just a little example of an arbitrage bet. If you want to learn more about arbitrage betting, then I'll add a guide in the description. The next strategy we're going to look at is betting niche markets. Now Bet365 offer thousands of niche betting markets. These are markets that are often priced incorrectly and offer large value. Now what I mean by betting niche markets is smaller markets. They are like corners, cards, Iceland under 19 division. These are markets that the general public are not putting a lot of money into, and that's why they offer a lot of value. Bet365 don't pay that much attention to them. So I'll show you some examples now of what a betting niche market is, and I'll also show you an example of tipsters that are exploiting these markets. Okay, so just to show you an example of what niche betting markets are, I just want to bring up Bet365 and show you what I mean really. So it's stuff like this, like the Estonian Cup, you've got the Czech Republic League 3, Croatian 3rd Division. Like I knew somebody from Serbia that absolutely crushed these markets, and they made a ton of money doing so. It should be noted that they had access to almost an unlimited amount of Bet365 accounts, because obviously whenever you make money from a bookmaker, they're going to limit you or ban you eventually. But I don't know how it works in Serbia, but he was just able to keep getting new accounts. But these are leagues that the Bet365 are very weak in, and they offer a ton of value. So I just thought I'd go over to a site called BloggerBet, which is like a tipster marketplace, and the majority of their top performing tipsters, I'll just pick this one here, are beating these markets. They're beating niche Bet365 markets and making a lot of money. So you see this guy, Nolt Mad Hinia, I think that's how you pronounce it. he's got a 24% yield, which is pretty ridiculous after only 300 picks. But I'm guessing that he's probably, well, there's Pinnacle Bet there. I'll look at his statistics, but I'll bet that he's probably crushing these niche Bet365 markets, because when you look on BloggerBet, basically all of the highest performing tipsters, that's what they're doing. They're beating these markets. So go down here, you can see bookies. Yeah, Bet365, you see, he's got a 21% yield here, 265 picks. If we look at categories, this will show you what he's beating. Okay, so like Albanian basketball, Albanian football, Macedonian football, Kosovan, and he's doing well in live betting, which is probably in these niche markets as well. So that's just an example. If that's an area that you want to focus on, making money from Bet365, then you can do really well. I know other people that do well, like backing American horses as well. So yeah, this is a really good area to make money from Bet365 accounts, but you just have to be wary that you'll still get limited, even if you're not doing match betting or arbitrage betting. Even if you're just outright beating them at some of these markets, you still will get limited. But it's a risk that you should take, really, because at the end of the day, you do want to make money in the long term. The next strategy we're going to look at is Inplay betting and Inplay arbitrage. Now, the really good thing specifically about Inplay arbitrage is that it works very well with limited accounts. So a good example I can give you is that I found some arbitrage bets between Bet365 and Betfair Exchange on a cricket game a few months ago, and as the odds were changing, I was able to stake again to my maximum limit. So I think I was able to win, I think it was £50 per bet. But the really good thing about this is every time the odds changed, there was still an arbitrage bet available. So I must have got 10 to 15 arbitrage bets on this game, and I made between 30 to 50 pounds, I would say. So even with limited accounts, you can still do really well. And the reason these arbitrage bets exist is because there's thousands of live markets that Bet365 offer, and it's very difficult for Bet365 to be completely efficient. If you think about it, you've got the Asian betting markets, you've got the exchanges, you've got thousands of markets where the odds are changing, second by second. So there is going to be a lot of opportunity there if you're willing to look for it. Now, this is probably a little bit more advanced than what we've previously gone over, such as match betting and arbitrage betting and betting niche markets, but it's still something that you can make a lot of money from if you can find the right opportunities. Okay, so the last strategy I'm going to talk about is using betting bots. Now, this is automated betting using methods that are proven to work long term. It involves downloading some software and having the software automatically place bets for you. So this is a passive method of making money from a Bet365 account. The downside is that Bet365 don't like you using bots, and if they suspect that you're using a bot, then they will ban your account. So I'll just show you now the page of a betting bot that I've used before and just talk about why it works. Okay, so this is the website for a betting bot that I've used before. It's bettingiscool.com, and it's the wisdom of the crowd automated strategy. You can see that the guy puts a few warnings first, and this is why I left this strategy till the end, because it's a bit more advanced than the other ones. It says if you're just starting out betting, do not sign up. If you're a casual punter, do not sign up. If you're looking to make quick money, do not sign up. So I'll just show you the results for this automated betting strategy. Now, what you have to do with this is you go to a site called smartbet.io, and that explains how to download the software, how to set up the bot, and it also involves some of the, it tells you about some of the fees involved. But you can see here that it's a very solid strategy. The strategy involves taking value bets, so it uses the Asian bookmakers to highlight value with Bet365. That's because Asian bookmakers are seen as a lot sharper. They don't limit players, whereas in Bet365 they do obviously limit players, and they're a bit less efficient with the markets. So you can see you've got a graph here of over 13,000 bets, and you can see that the general trend is up. And here are the stats. You've got 13,822 bets. Betting £10 on each selection would have returned just under £7,000 at 5% ROI. But like I say, there are some fees involved, so I know that the ROI would be a bit lower. I think it'd be between 3 and 4% after you take out the fees involved. But still, it's a very passive method of making money. And like I said earlier, it's not for the beginner. It's probably for somebody that's a bit more familiar with betting. Perhaps you've been an arbiter in the past and you've got a few limited accounts and you still want to get some use out of them. It might be worth looking at it there. So yeah, if you do want to learn more about this, I suggest you go on this website, bettingiscool.com. I'll put a link in the description. Like I said, for all of these strategies, I'll put a more in-depth guide or link in the description so you can learn more about it. But it's definitely worth looking at if you're just interested in a passive way to make money from a Bet365 account. Alright, so that's 5 ways to make money from a Bet365 account. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, maybe you learned something from it. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel, as that enables me to keep making content related to making money from the sports betting markets. And if you do want to learn more about this type of stuff, I've got a website, smartsportstrader.com, where we've got a lot of in-depth guides covering a lot of what I discussed earlier, and it also I'm running a challenge there where I attempt to make £1 million from the sports betting markets using a lot of these strategies that I discussed in this video. So yeah, thank you for watching the video. Cheers.